they could reduce the dose of the chemo, get the same effectiveness, and lessen the side effects. It helped me and thousands of women. It's the new standard for so many.
This is what makes us who we are. The University of Kansas Cancer Center.
Jayhawk Nation, it's tournament time, and while the team is fighting for space on the court, you might be fighting for space at home. Tailgate gear, summer move-out season, a growing collection of Jayhawk memorabilia, whatever's taking up room, Storage Mart has storage for super fans like you. Reserve online today at storage-mart.com and get $20 off with code ROCKCHALK. That's right, $20 off storage with code ROCKCHALK at checkout. Restrictions apply. Storage Mart, proud to be the official storage provider for Kansas Athletics.
It's time to hear from the head coach himself. Part 1 of our pregame visit with Bill Self is presented by LMH Health. Visit lmh.org.
Well, Coach, back in the big dance for the 27th time in your career, 22nd at KU. I know you're acutely focused right now on the Lancers, but if we could, to think back to all but one of those teams entered as a top 4 seed. There's a ton of accolades on your resume, but man, that's got to be something you're proud of. The regular consistency of always having a team in it with a chance to make some noise every year.
Yeah, we've only had 3 or 4 times where we went into it limping to the point where it had been really hard to make a run. This is not one of those years. We're capable of doing so, even though we haven't played well the last couple of weeks. But certainly we're closer to being healthy and all that stuff. So we're excited about the opportunity. And of course, we're playing a team tonight that people may not have heard of them, but they'll see them because you can see them from long distance because they're big, really big. So they'll start 7'6", inside. We don't have anybody else in our league, maybe Cincinnati, that would actually start that big.
Right. And a dynamic scoring guard that we'll talk about in a second, and Dominique Daniels. First with your club, though, how's the week been? I know you mentioned maybe on Friday versus Houston, maybe some tired legs. Have they been refreshed, and how's the mindset been in preparing for this one?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, the guys are excited, and at least they appear that way. And we haven't killed them at all this week by any stretch. Of course, nobody does this time of year, but our practices have been right around 65 minutes. 70 is a long practice, and we're able to give the right guys the time off. So I think that we should be fresh.
There is tournament experience on this roster, but not necessarily together. So what have you told some of these guys like Darren and Bryson playing in their first postseason? And what about mixing in Melvin Council and guys like that playing on the biggest stage of their career?
Well, it's new to everybody because everybody that has experienced it, whether it be Omarco or Mari or Trey or obviously Mel, and Flo, a little bit last year, is everybody's got a different role. It's a totally different feel, all those things. But the thing about it is with the NCAA is there's no easy games in this tournament. All the games are hard. You look at these games going on right now, and you have a few that are blowouts, where a team just plays great and the other team can't throw it in the ocean or whatever. But most of the games are so competitive, and the seeding is out the door. It's all about matchups, and so we understand that, and players should understand that as well.
No doubt. You mentioned it's all about matchups. We'll break down this matchup with the Lancers of Cal Baptist right after this on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with preparation and commitment. And when it comes to investing, you need to have a game plan too. In 2024 alone, consumers lost $5.7 billion to investment scams. That's a 24% increase in losses since 2023. The Kansas Department of Insurance is here to help with our website, smartinvestks.gov. Have a game plan before you invest. Educate yourself at smartinvestks.gov.
On D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Get ready for more with head coach Bill Self. Once again, here's Brian Haney.
We continue our pregame conversation with head coach Bill Self and dive into the 13th seed, the WAC champions, the Lancers of Cal Baptist. Just their third year of being eligible for the postseason as they transition to Division I. And you referenced the height inside. We talked briefly about Dominique Daniels. Who does Daniels remind you of as a dynamo scorer at 23 a game that can beat you off the bounce and step back and hit shots?
Frank.
That's what I thought. Yep.
You know, maybe Frank, he's going to get up more shots than Frank. You know, Frank was very efficient, and he can be too, but they're fine with him getting up 25 shots. You know, get up 25 and make 10, and 4 of them are threes. Heck, you're at 24 and you're going to get fouled. You're looking at a 30-piece, just about every night. So we gotta limit his opportunities because he can just flat out score the ball. Maybe as good a scorer, pure score that we played against this year. And I'm trying to think who else would, AJ obviously, but other than that, who else in our league scores the ball like him? Now there may be some guys that shoot a better percentage or whatever, but defenses are designed to stop him, and he's still going to get his looks.
Haggerty was a top 5 scorer nationally.
Yeah, but hey, he did it differently. Yeah. He did it differently, in my opinion. This guy, he can get it off the bounce, he can get it off the catch, he is just so quick. He can set everything up. Just make a mistake with the ball screen that's going up, and he's strong that he can finish in traffic. He's a dynamic scorer.
Well said. You talked about their length at 6'11", 7 feet in the interior. Speak to some of the matchup keys there. Guys like Bryson and Flory playing to their size.
Yeah, they're going to have to, and we should. I mean, they're not the only big team in the tournament, but they're certainly a big team. They're not huge on the perimeter, but they're definitely big inside, and they throw a lot of bodies at you. So, and they're extremely athletic. So we've got to play physical. We got to really play physical. And there's been times where we've done that, and there's been times we've been inconsistent with that. But Bryson and Flory and Trey need to be that, and I also think Paul could play a role in that tonight.
Getting off to a fast start could be a key in any matchup, but is it even more true in the first round of the NCAA tournament when they're trying to prove they believe and belong and they can hang in? Is it important to assert your will early?
I think it's always important to do that early, but in the tournament, yes. The tournament is one. I mean, they'll have fans because they're only an hour away, but you don't want the whole building getting excited rooting for the underdog too, which could happen if in fact we don't play well and let them be comfortable and that kind of stuff. So a good start is always good, but whether it's a good start or not a good start, you just got to keep playing and understand that's what this time is all about. It's all about next play.
Absolutely. Further keys for a Kansas win.
Like we talked about, rebounding the ball, limiting Daniels best that you can, because he's going to get up shots. You just can't let them be good ones. But rebounding the ball and they're knocking down some shots is always important. But the way that they'll guard us, I wouldn't be surprised they have 2 people in the lane all the time. So it'd be nice to be able to step out and make some shots early.
All right, we're looking forward to it, Coach. Our favorite time of year, no doubt. Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
That's head coach Bill Self. More pregame coming up on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
So I've got a question for you. Ever stop and think about the people you trust with your life? The ones who, no matter what, would do anything for you because they know you, right? They know your story and your whole family. They've got you. Now ask yourself this. Is your doctor on that list? If not, maybe it's time for a doctor who truly knows you. LMH Health. Primary care that knows you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas Lottery X Games! Kansas Lottery X Games! Win up to $300,000. Second chance cash prizes make you holler. Get ready for a cash attack! We're back! Win up to $300,000 with the X Games. See kslottery.com for details.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Viejas Arena here in San Diego, California. Brian Haney, Greg Gurley, Steve Kincaid with you for about 15 more minutes of pregame. Officially now a 9:07 Central Time tip-off, 7:07 Pacific. So we'll bring you about 15 more minutes of pregame, and then finally, your Jayhawks will take center stage here in the Madness of March. You know, sometimes you get the 11 a.m. draw on a Thursday. Other times it's 9 p.m. on a Friday. But I kind of like it this way because you get to watch some other teams duke it out. You stay in the dance no matter what for an extra day. And it's not been easy for the Jayhawks these last few years because of some tough luck with injuries to KJ last year, Kevin McCullough the year before that, Bill Self's own health scare when we were in Des Moines in 2023. And so making it out of the first weekend has been difficult. So I, for one, don't mind waiting until the late game on Friday because we've had a chance to watch over 30 games prior to the Jayhawks taking the floor.
And I'm glad we're not in the Central Time Zone playing at 9:07.
Right.
Out here, 7 o'clock, we've had a couple days to acclimate ourselves, and guys have done a great job and kept it professional, had some good practices, good shoot-arounds, and they're going to be ready to go, mentally focused.
It's time now for our game plan segment brought to you by the Kansas Department of Insurance. Reminds you to make a game plan before you invest at smartinvestks.gov.
Get out early is my biggest key. I talked about it earlier where you don't want to give Cinderella any kind of hope. And this crowd, behind us, we see the CBU section, and there's that one whole section. A lot of students have been able to get down here, and so they're going to be loud, and just don't give them anything to cheer for. Defensively got to be dialed in, and that's on the defensive glass. We do a great job of first shot defense, and sometimes we're unable to get the defensive rebound. And if we can get the defensive rebound and get out and play with a little pace and get Melvin going, you and I talked about what can really get Melvin going. That's some pace and play to his strength, which is his energy and his activity and his speed. And then Darren Peterson take over. I mean, this is your chance to silence everybody and go on a run on his back.
I hope that's the case, my friend. We're looking forward to it. If so, as we update scores from around the rest of March Madness involving Big 12 teams, the Big 12 could be 8 seconds away from its second team eliminated. Last night we saw BYU bow to Texas, so a
former Big 12 team beating a current one. Right now, UCF, the 10 seed, trails UCLA, the 7 seed, by 4 with 8 seconds to go. So a tall hill to climb there, down 4, 2 possessions more than likely with 8 seconds to go. But otherwise, Iowa State, despite losing Joshua Jefferson to an ankle injury, steamrolled Tennessee State, including a 23-0 run early in that game. They go on to win it 108-74. Arizona beats LIU Brooklyn 92-58. Texas Tech was neck and neck with Akron for the first half and early stages of the second before going on to win by 20, 91-71. Yesterday, Houston blew out Idaho 78-47, and TCU came back to beat Ohio State 66-64. TCU will get Duke tomorrow, and whoever emerges out of this San Diego portion of the bracket would meet the winner of that game in Washington, D.C. next Friday. We'll step aside for a timeout, come back with starting lineups right after this on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
When you're running a business, sometimes you have to pick and choose what to invest your time and money in. But with Midco Business, you get everything you want and more. We're talking proven reliability, layers of security, and the fiber speed that helps you go further, go faster, go beyond. Explore more at midco.com/business. Let's go.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back and live here in San Diego as the Jayhawks take on Cal Baptist in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Let's take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Storage Mart, the official storage partner of Kansas Athletics. The 13 seed Cal Baptist Lancers come in at 25-8 in their first NCAA tournament appearance in their 3rd year of eligibility. Dominique Daniels Jr. is everyone is talking about. 23 points, 4 rebounds a game, 82% from the free throw line. He can score on all levels. Backcourt mate with Jaden Jackson, 9 points, 3 rebounds. Martell Williams at 6'3", the senior guard out of Las Vegas. And the 2 big guys, Jonathan Greiman, 6'11" junior, and Bradley Hennig, 7-foot sophomore, for that triumvirate of guys underneath, about 14 feet between them. So Flory and Bryson will have their hands full. Take a look at Kansas. Trey White, Melvin Council, Bryson Tiller, Flory Badunga, and the do everything freshman Darren Peterson in his first NCAA tournament game. Hopefully it is a special one. This has been the Delta Dental Jayhawks shoot around. The opening tip is next right here on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hold on tight. It's Ford Truck Month. And you
can't sit still when there's a stampede of savings headed your way. Get to your Midwest Ford dealer for the best deals of the year on a new Ford truck, including F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. The stampede of savings can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Hurry into Ford Truck Month at your Midwest Ford dealer and drive the stampede. Based on 1977 to 2025 CY total sales.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Attention business owners, this is Kansas Secretary of State Scott Schwab. Business information reports are now required to be filed every other year, allowing my office to modernize and reduce your filing fee. If you file business information reports in even-numbered years, visit sos.ks.gov to file your report. These reports are due April 15th. If you have any questions, please contact my office. Again, that's sos.ks.gov. And this is Secretary of State Scott Schwab, and thank you for the honor of serving as your Secretary of State.
Kohl's Spring Savings Event is kind of like sunshine. The deals are glowing, dazzling, tempting to stare directly at in awe. And with prices like these, looking away is a real challenge. You can get 40% off kitchen appliances, teas for just $7.99 and more, plus an extra 50% off clearance. Yep, Kohl's Spring Savings are looking bright. Shop them at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles, offers end March 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Jayhawk Nation, it's tournament time, and while the team is fighting for space on the court, you might be fighting for space at home. Tailgate gear, summer move-out season, a growing collection of Jayhawk memorabilia, whatever's taking up room, Storage Mart has storage for super fans like you. Reserve online today at storage-mart.com and get $20 off with code ROCKCHALK. That's right, $20 off storage with code ROCKCHALK at checkout. Restrictions apply. Storage Mart, proud to be the official storage provider for Kansas Athletics.
It's another March with a top 4 seed for Bill Self and the Kansas Jayhawks, who have been on the 4 line or higher in all but one of Self's seasons at KU. The Jayhawks earned that 4 seed by playing the nation's second toughest schedule, logging 10 wins over tourney teams and 3 over squads ranked in the top 5. This season's slate has truly been a gauntlet, but that leaves the Jayhawks battle-tested and a club with plenty of big moments under its belt.
Jamari in the corner, steps through. White, can he do it again? You bet he can! Everything coming up, Kansas. Murray's now picked up by Bidunga. Drives past it, goes up, rejected! Swatted away by Flory. Another defensive stand by the best defender in America, Flory Bidunga. Peterson gets around his man, hangs. Oh my! A right hand hammer! He fires it home! A poster dunk on an electric day in Allen Fieldhouse. Wow! White drives, kicks to Council. Can he do it again? You bet he can! Melvin Council, the game of his life. Every dog has his day, and today belongs to Melvin. Rebound Kansas, 2 seconds to go. White to beat the buzzer. He hit it! It's good! A transition 3 falls, and KU takes its biggest lead as Trey beats that buzzer.
The Jayhawks begin their road to a hopeful Final Four here in sunny San Diego, opposite of NCAA tournament rookie Cal Baptist. The Lancers transitioned to Division I in 2018 and have only been eligible for postseason play the last 3 seasons. Cal Baptist squeaked by Utah Valley in the WAC title game to earn today's bid, a mere 90 minutes down the road from their home in Riverside. The Lancers are led by Dominique Daniels Jr., who averages over 23 points per game as the nation's 5th leading scorer. It's the first all-time meeting between the two schools. The Jayhawks march through the madness begins next on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
It's time to wave the wheat.
Shoots and hits. First the shot fake, then a pure swish. Trey White taking over.
It's game time.
To Trey, to the cup, two-hand jammer. McDowell on the feed, and the field house is rocking. Lob, Flory, a slam, a left-handed hammer, and the foul.
Live play-by-play action of Jayhawk basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. The Kansas Lottery and the Rivalry Riches scratch ticket. Let's play. Wendy's, proud partner of Kansas Athletics. And by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health.
Some new history made in this old barn. A #1 takedown for the first time in Allen Fieldhouse history.
It's time to dance. It's the NCAA tournament, live from San Diego, California. Now, let's go live courtside alongside Greg Gurley. Here's the voice of the Jayhawks, Brian Haney.
Back in live at Viejas Arena, moments away from the opening toss and tap. Our crew, Chance Moore, Jason Baker, and Pat Driscoll, the three officials for today's game. In the jump circle, Flory Bidunga of Kansas, opposite of Jonathan Greiman of Cal Baptist. Hawks as the higher seed in the home whites, blue numerals, crimson trim. CBU, Cal Baptist in gold unis with navy blue trim. Toss in the tap, won by KU. Melvin Council collects right in front of us, and will bring it down the heart of the floor from left to right as we view the court. Tiller, a lob toward Flory, deep catch. He's falling out of bounds. Try to throw it off the chest of Greiman, but Greiman caught it, and it's a steal. Well, turnover on KU.
They wanted a rim run to Flory, but he got pushed out of bounds, and Bryson's got to hold that one.
So we'll see Cal Baptist get the first chance to score as KU did not even get off a shot. Here's a steal by Darren, though. Peterson up the floor to the cup. Left-hand runner misses. Tip try misses. And the rebound to Cal Baptist.
Good defense. Darren playing the passing lane. Thought he got hit, but didn't. And here's a
behind the back. Little floater on the run. Misses. Stick back blocked. And KU's got it with Peterson. Darren up the floor to the cup. Right-hand runner won't go. Tip for Flory won't go. And finally a foul. Wow. Frenetic pace on both ends and cellophane over both irons. Nothing will fall for either team.
Yeah, Darren twice in transition goes right at his guy, and they don't foul him, and he missed it. So luckily Flory didn't give up, hustled down. He'll get a couple free throws to get Kansas on the board.
They put the foul on Hinnick, his first on either team. Bidunga, the southpaw, takes two dribbles, spins at the knees, and misses. The Cal Baptist student section is across from their bench area, so it's on this end of the floor that Flory is shooting toward, not behind the basket, but on the sideline. They're making a lot of noise as he gets set to shoot. 67% free throw shooter hits the second, and KU strikes first, 1-0. 19 minutes to play here in the opening half, just underway. It was Dominique Daniels that missed the shots on the previous trip down the floor, including one that got blocked. He'll probably get up 25 attempts at least here tonight. He passes off on the right side to Williams, second team all WAC. Williams trying to drive on Trey White. Spins, lost the handle, and a reach-in foul.
Yeah, it's going to be on Darren. He jammed down and got him on the wrist. Playing help defense, but now got to really be careful. Don't let one become two.
One foul on each team. One on a player way more important than the other. Hinnick has the foul for Cal Baptist. Peterson with KU's personal foul. CBU with the ball. Three-pointer launched, missed on a bank try. No good from the hands of Jackson. KU's got the board. Down the floor we come. Peterson for three. No, missed it front iron. And the rebound cleared by Cal Baptist. Jackson with the board.
Darren starts out 0 for 3. A guarded three from the corner and a couple misses from inside.
Cal Baptist backs down, now kicks out to the big fella Griman standing head of the circle. Handoff left side finds Williams. Passes hard toward Griman, goes through his hands. Bidunga's got the steal. Here comes KU leading 1-0. Bidunga collects at the top, hands off to Peterson. A jump stop, turns and finds White on the right side. Trey will drive in the corner. Tiller fakes on a three. Now he pulls, misses strong. Long rebound, tapped by Bidunga, but corralled by Cal Baptist.
An ugly start right now. Only 1 point scored.
Now they take off, fumble the ball, and KU with a steal. Council got his hands in there. Ahead to Peterson, a lob. Touch shot misses. Follow jam good. It was White on the miss, but Tiller on that flush.
First field goal for anybody right now. Kansas can't really take advantage until now on the mishaps by.
Now a shot on the run that misses, but a foul is going to send Dominique Daniels to the free throw line where he shoots him at 82%. We referenced he's kind of a mid-major version of Frank Mason. Strong but short. I wouldn't say pint-sized, but certainly not tall, but very strong. A bulldog mentality with his aggressive dribble drives, and you don't want to send him to the free throw line often tonight.
We're almost 3 minutes in, and Kansas forcing 3 turnovers, but unable to convert really any of them except for that last Bryson tip-in, and so speeding Cal Baptist up, but got to take advantage when you turn them over.
First free throw rattles in for Daniels, who, like Mason, has attempted well over 200 free throws. This will be his 218th of the season. Also a southpaw. The lefty misses. Rebound, Melvin Council. 3-1 KU. Sounds like a baseball score. 3 minutes into this game. By the way, baseball beat Houston earlier today, 7-5 in their Big 12 home opener. Council on the right side. Throws out to Peterson at the top, looking to drive, DP to the cup, misses on a layup try, but a foul comes in, and free throws coming for Peterson. DP's had some good looks, many of which driving toward the basket, but nothing going down early. Maybe free throws will get that lid off.
He got hit on that one, but if you asked Darren, he would have said, I should have got the and one, and maybe a couple free throws can get him going, but a slow start for DP.
Ever since Stillwater, he's been finishing games, but he's not been super efficient. First free throw good. He attributed that to not playing as much basketball as the rest of the nation after missing 11 games in the middle of the year. What's it going to take to get him off the faster starts, as both free throws are good?
Screening. I think a big part of it is his teammates getting him into open space. And when he's in open space, he's the most dangerous guy around. He drew 11 fouls against TCU. We could see a similar type effort today.
5-1 KU. They wall up defensively on the back line, and CBU has to kick it out. Now a spin in the paint. A contested shot is good. Banked in by Endong over the top of Flory Bidunga. 5-3 KU. Finally, Cal Baptist hits a field goal. Jayhawks, though, 1 of 6 on their end, have not been any better. White dribbles between his legs, now kicks back to Bidunga at the top. Darren off a screen, steps back, launches a three. No, it's in and out, no good. It's spun off, and the rebound corralled by Daniels of Cal Baptist. 5-3 Kansas, 16:15 to go here in the first half. Jayhawks not getting that early separation, but here's a tip and a steal. White's got the carom to the cup. Right hand runner good. And the foul. A chance at 3 for Trey White.
That's how you attack after the turnover, and kind of a slow Euro step by Trey to draw the foul. Had the awareness to throw it up at the rim. His prayers were answered. He gets the and one.
And who keyed the steal? Darren Peterson.
Deflection. And nice job for Trey to corral it and just go and attack.
Now can White hit the free throw? An 87% foul shooter. It's good. White playing in his 3rd different NCAA tournament with 3 different teams. Referenced previous opportunities at Illinois and USC, not Louisville. 8-3 KU. Here's a drive and a block by Daniels. Out of bounds off of Daniels. It's going to be Tiller credited with the block on the blow-by Dominique Daniels. Great job of swatting it then out of bounds off of Cal Baptist.
They did a nice job on their ball screen, but Bryson did a better job defending it. He just walled up, know that the 5'10" Daniels can't shoot over him. Got the block shot, knocked it off of him. Good job, Bryson Tiller.
This broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or reuse of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. 8-3 KU leading early on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Hey, this is Melvin the Dog Council Jr. And this is Ace. I'm here today with Team Meritrust to take your financial game to the next level. Meritrust is a team I trust. Meritrust has the tools and the teammates you need to become the real MVP of your financial future. What's your financial game plan? Take the first step toward your winning financial game plan today at meritrust.org. Meritrust Credit Union is the official credit union of Kansas Athletics.
KU supports our Kansas community. The University of Kansas provides statewide medical outreach, first responder training, childhood development support, and economic gains amounting to over $7 billion every year. Kansas Jayhawks serve the world as doctors, teachers, business owners, social workers, and more to create a better future. Visit ku.edu to learn how the world is safer, healthier, and stronger because of what KU creates.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, everyone. This is Rex Walters, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
8-3 KU leads, 15:52 to go in the first half. Melvin Council playing in his second NCAA tournament, but his first as a Jayhawk. We caught up with him yesterday.
Obviously, you've been in the dance before with Wagner. Different kind of feel, I'm sure, with Kansas. But what can you take from your previous experience that helps you this week?
I could take fun, enjoyment, everybody gonna have their best game. Every team gonna come out playing free. They got nothing to lose.
How about for this Kansas team trying to hit the reset button after a short stint in KC and maybe not the best last 3 weeks? Is it a good thing that we're kind of starting at 0-0 now?
Yeah, most definitely, and we know what happened, and we're gonna leave that in the past and move forward. And it's 0-0 at the end of the day, it's win or go home now.
What's the biggest key to unlocking this team's potential over the next 3 weeks?
Oh, defense, rebound, heart, toughness, and we got that, and we're going to show everybody we got that.
If the dogs get barking loud enough out here in San Diego, can they hear us all the way back in Lawrence?
Yes, they can.
Melvin Council leading the Jayhawks right now up 8-3, but they go inside to Tiller. He loses the handle going up, and Cal Baptist comes away with it. We want to see BT play strong with the ball. They take it away that time. Now Tiller on a recovery block from behind fouls Greiman, and Greiman's going to go to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, on the other end, they run that tight set with Flory and Bryson like they did on the opening possession, but Bryson got a deflection, wasn't strong with the ball, and Bill Self all over Bryson Tiller right now.
8-3 KU leads. Greiman to the free throw line where he only shoots him at 55%, and that's over a 44-shot sample size. This one misses wide right. No good. As a team, Cal Baptist shoots him at 72% compared to Kansas's 77%. Jayhawks lead at 8-3 here early. First ever tournament game for the Lancers. Second free throw also misses. Rebound Tiller of KU. Hawks want to push. Council down the right sideline, passes off to Flory Bidunga. Backing his way down, turns, shoots, misses wildly. Fights for his own rebound, but can't get it. Boy, everything but the finish, he just looked a little bit sped up.
Yeah, everything right at the rim, and Kansas just cannot convert anything in the paint.
Jayhawks are now 2 of 9 from the floor. Thankfully, Cal Baptist 1 of 5. Jamari McDowell will check in at the next dead ball. Here's a pull-up from 15 that misses off the side iron from Jackson. Rebound Trey White of KU. Hawks with the ball and a 5-point lead. Council looking to attack, cut off by Daniels. Throws to Peterson left side. He gets to the baseline. has to curl back toward the top of the key. Hawks being patient on this possession. Shot clock reading 12. They sling in the corner to White. White drives to the elbow, steps through, misses on a runner, and the rebound to Cal Baptist.
Yeah, no flow offensively for Kansas right now. A wild shot by Trey late in the clock, but nobody on the glass either.
8-3 Jayhawks lead. Thankfully, Cal Baptist has struggled from the start. Here's a three that misses by Jackson. Stick back also misses underneath from Martell Williams. Crawled all the way around the cylinder and spun off. Rebound KU. Council on a step through, fades, misses. Tip try won't go for Tiller. Council's got it. He misses again. I've never seen so many bunnies blown. Rebound Cal Baptist up the floor. Right hand layup good from Daniels, who like a blur got from baseline to baseline.
Kansas now 2 of 13 from the field, and that's with only 2 3-point attempts.
Is this the second half versus Houston all over again? Peterson, can he get him going? No, misses on a three from the wing. Rebound Lancers.
Yeah, again, you're letting the underdog hang around.
Now, a step back three for the tie. Misses. Rebound, Trey White. Wow, that was Daniels on the three-point trigger.
And that's his game, a little step back three like that.
KU leading 8-5. Can Peterson get going? He hangs, shoots, misses again. Rebound, Cal Baptist. How many shots from 5 feet and in have been blown here in these first 7 minutes?
Yeah, he did that slow Euro step, got all the way to the rim, and everything's just in and out right now.
KU 2 of 15, 13%. Thankfully, Cal Baptist is 2 of 10. In the corner, the ball is batted, but recovered by Cal Baptist with 7 to shoot. Martell Williams spins, shoots, misses, rebound, Trey White. Hawks doing a nice job on the glass early. Up the floor, Trey steps through, blocked from behind, but a whistle and a foul. And free throws coming for Trey.
Yeah, Trey White once again got all the way 94 feet, and he'll go to the free throw line. Maybe a couple of free throws can get this Kansas team started. But we are now 0 of our last 7 and 1 of our last 9 in a scoring drought of almost 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And it's luckily defensively doing a nice job. A little luck involved as Cal Baptist has missed a lot of easy ones as well.
Bad news is this is back-to-back halves of just looking putrid offensively. The first free throw is good for Trey. If you do this on Sunday, should you still be alive and play in St. John's, you'd be in a 15-point hole right now.
And how about this substitution right there? Darren Peterson, Flory Badunga, and Melvin Council all exit as Paul Mbia, Jamari McDowell, and Elmarco Jackson check in. So Bill trying to push some buttons here. Maybe make a bit of a statement to his 3 starters.
Second free throw for White, also good. And KU leads 10-5. Coach Self said on senior day when addressing the crowd about Paul Mbia, he said he's had a great final 2 weeks of the regular season. He's really made some strides. And then he tipped us off in pregame. Paul could play a significant role in this matchup with so many Cal Baptist bigs. 10-5, KU leads. Malcolm, left corner now. They sling it. Corralled on the left edge by Griman. Hands back, shot on the run. Misses on a jump hook inside by Muller. And the rebound cleared by KU. Back come the Jayhawks from left to right, leading by 5. Jamari McDowell, who just checked in, passes off in the corner to Bryson Tiller. BT out to Jackson, who's had a nice spark or two down the stretch these last couple of weeks. Trey leans in on a 3, misses, but he's fouled. And I'll tell you what, no matter how well they scouted, the folks out in the WAC conference probably haven't learned about that lean-in move of Trey White nearly enough.
You know, James Harden-esque, he felt the hand on his wrist, so he went into the shooting motion, and Chance Moore made the correct call. And now Trey White leading the Jayhawks in scoring with 5 as a chance to build this out to an 8-point lead.
First free throw is good. Well, that's one thing where if you go through cold shooting stretches, at least this has been one of the better Bill Self-era free throw shooting teams. Getting to the stripe and converting when you're there, where the Hawks are now 7 of 8. That could be a remedy for some dry spells otherwise from the field. He hits the next one. They're now 8 of 9 from the free throw line. The lead extended to 12-5 with one more free throw pending. White with 7 points to lead all scorers, 5 of which from the free throw line. Can he complete the three-pack? Yes, he can. All 3 free throws converted. 13-5 KU. It's the Jayhawks' biggest lead.
Continue to get stops. I mean, the numbers are going to come up for Kansas, and they're not going to miss these all day, and just continue on the defensive end to put Cal Baptist in a tough position.
Jackson smothering Mueller on the left side. He passes off and gets it right back, but Omarco stays with him bounce for bounce. They throw inside. Dunk attempt is missed by Griman, but a whistle you could barely hear, and a foul on KU. It looks like Bryson Tiller may pick this one up for Kansas. And if so, it's his second. So keep your eyes on that, as BT may have to come out.
First half action is brought to you by Ameritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
13-5, the Jayhawks lead. They have 9 points at the free throw line, 4 points from everywhere else.
Wow. Darren Peterson only with 3 right now, so Kansas got to get it going, but again, they're doing a great job on the defensive end, forcing turnovers, first 4 turnovers, and finally turning some of those into points.
And we mentioned don't let Cinderella feel like she belongs. Don't let this underdog team hit some shots early and gain confidence. The closeouts along the perimeter have been impressive, and you look at 2 of 12 shooting numbers for Cal Baptist, just 16% shooting. That dog will hunt for Kansas. Hawks lead by 8, 11:40 to go in the first on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
What's on your to-do list? Wouldn't it be nice to have it all go according to plan? With Midco by your side, you can rest easy with a partner that always has your back. Going with Midco gets you not only proven reliability, but an internet connection built to go further, go faster, and go beyond. If you're ready to add more certainty to your day, visit midco.com to learn more. Let's go.
KU supports our Kansas community. The University of Kansas provides statewide medical outreach, first responder training, childhood development support, and economic gains amounting to over $7 billion every year. Kansas Jayhawks serve the world as doctors, teachers, business owners, social workers, and more to create a better future. Visit ku.edu to learn how the world is safer, healthier, and stronger because of what KU creates.
So I've got a question for you. Ever stop and think about the people you trust with your life? The ones who, no matter what, would do anything for you because they know you, right? They know your story and your whole family. They've got you. Now ask yourself this. Is your doctor on that list? If not, maybe it's time for a doctor who truly knows you. LMH Health. Primary care that knows you.
Welcome back to San Diego, California. Jayhawks still mired in a 0-for-7 shooting slump, but they've been hitting free throws. And thankfully, Cal Baptist hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So even though you're field goalless for the last 4.5 minutes, Jayhawks have stretched out that lead to 8, their biggest, thanks to 9 out of 10 from the free throw line.
They're getting good looks inside the arc. They're just not converting. Flory's right at the rim. Darren's been there multiple times in transition and in the half-court set. So you got to imagine that these numbers are going to come up. 2 for 15. If you would have looked at a box score of the NCAA tournament and say, hey, 8 minutes and 20 seconds in, you're 2 of 15 from the field. What's the score? 13-5, Kansas. So right now they're hanging their hats on the defensive end.
Free throws coming up here for Griman, who was 0 for 2 on his previous trip to the line. This one rattles in and out, no good. He's now 0 for 3. 6'11 junior out of Venezuela. Cal Baptist located in Riverside, California, about 90 minutes away on a lighter traffic day. They had a great home court advantage, won 19 straight at home heading into the dance and brought a lot of those fans down here, but they have struggled here in San Diego tonight. Second free throw good, 13-6 Kansas, 11:30 to play here in the first half. Jackson, McDowell, and now Peterson form the backcourt. And Bidunga came in for Tiller after that second foul on Bryson. Jackson pulls up from 15. Got it to go. It wedged between the bridge and the backboard and then just kind of popped in.
We deserved one. We needed that one. And that's Melmarco's game. Penetration pulling up from 15.
15-6. Kansas in front. You noticed yesterday during shoot-around it was kind of a soft rim setup here at Viejas. The rims haven't been kind early tonight. Here's a missed three for the right wing by Williams. Good clear out by Mbia. KU's got it up the floor. Flory, left-hand layup, good. And he was pushed in the back. No foul call, but the shot finally falls for Flo.
Thought he was going to throw it down, but got a little bit of a nudge. And, well, you know what? It was pretty clean. Flory just kind of lost his feet, but
Daniels a three on the other end, misses strong. Offensive rebound and a stick back that's good for Hennig underneath. 17-8 Kansas.
Daniels still struggling to score, so Kansas doing a good job against him, but got to get on that defensive glass.
Daniels now 1 of 6, their star. Jackson on a blow-by, kicks out to Peterson. Can DP get going? He leans in, shoots, and hits. Darren Peterson on the run, gets the little 6-foot floater to fall. He had been 0 for 6.
3 possessions in a row now, Kansas converted from the field.
Daniels on the other side, spins in the lane, passes back to Hennig. KU leads 19-8, 10 minutes to play in the first. A jump stop by Williams, jump hook misses, rebound knocked out of bounds by Cal Baptist, they say, and caught by Big J in the Kansas cheer section.
Some good minutes from Paul Mbia. Challenged that one, knocked it off of a Lancer. You mentioned it, that might see a little Paul Mbia with the size that they possess, so good minutes by the freshman.
Wouldn't you love to see him get some confidence tonight in case they need him on Sunday against those 3 big man starters of St. John's?
For sure, and we will need him.
Jayhawks leading 19-8. Got to get there first. Peterson on a step through, misses on a bank, but tips in his own miss. He just kept soaring in and taps it home with the left hand.
We saw that a couple times in Tucson a couple weeks ago where he missed a shot and knew that it was off, and he was the first one off the floor to tip it in.
Williams gets around Peterson, tried to throw it across the blocks, but Flory got a hand in and pilfers it away. Jayhawks leading 21-8. Council fakes on a 3, passes to Mbia, turns and slams it down. Paul Mbia rocking that rim. Timeout, Cal Baptist.
Instant impact. He did a great job of meeting the pass. His man gambled and lost, and Paul throws it down, forces the timeout by Cal Baptist. Kansas with its biggest lead of the night at 23-8.
Cole Rosario, the first guy off the bench, shoving Mbia in his chest as if to say, that a boy, that's my man. Paul Mbia has the Jayhawks up 23-8, and that 2 of 15 shooting start, they followed it up with 5 for their last 6.
Yeah, doing a nice job. It all started with El Marco, then Darren got going, Flory in transition, and then obviously the dunk by Paul forces the timeout, and that's Kansas basketball right there. Gave up an offensive rebound putback, but that's been about it in the last few minutes.
Jayhawks all-time are 47-5 in first-round games, and this one a little bit of a sluggish start, but they found a way to impose that will after all, building up a lead of 15. Every timeout taken in the NCAA tournament, first timeout of each half becomes a full timeout. So we'll take it with them. Bud Light's a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Hawks by 15, 9:05 to play on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
The Kansas Lottery asks, what would you do if you won $1 million a year for the rest of your life?
$1 million?
Every single year?
I'd build a new house with a turf lawn. I'd never have to mow again.
I want to actually travel to all those places I use as screensavers on my computer.
Instead of bringing my lunch to work, I'd bring my gourmet chef to work.
Is there a limit to how many penguins you can own?
Kansas Lottery millionaire for life. What would you do?
The Jayhawks have been lighting up scoreboards, well, since scoreboards were invented. And Shirley Signs has been lighting up the Midwest and shipping signs nationwide since 1972. With 2 locations, Shirley Signs can help you with any location in Kansas, from channel letters to awnings and everything in between. Multiple locations? No problem. Check out www.shirleysigns.com or call 1-800-779-7446.
Kohl's Spring Savings event is kind of like sunshine. The deals are glowing, dazzling, tempting to stare directly at in awe. And with prices like these, looking away is a real challenge. You can get 40% off kitchen appliances, teas for just $7.99 and more, plus an extra 50% off clearance. Yep, Kohl's Spring Savings are looking bright. Shop them at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles, offers end March 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is 2008 National Champion Cole Aldrich, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Whenever you think of first-round NCAA tournament games in which there were amazing individual performances, you have to think back to Cole Aldrich, the Bloomington, Minnesota native, playing in Minneapolis versus North Dakota State, March the 20th of 2009. And Big Cole turned in a triple-double mere minutes down the road from where he grew up. Hawks right now leading 23-8 thanks to a 6-0 run. We've got 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Dominique Daniels has really been blanketed by KU early. Their star player at 23 a game is just 1 of 6 to start this one, including 0 for 2 from downtown. They fling in the corner. Griman stepping inside the paint now, goes up, misses. Tip try won't go. Mbia tried to tap it, but it touches the inline out of bounds there, and it's going to be Cal Baptist ball as Council couldn't quite grab it before it landed out.
Melvin all over Daniels right now. Might struggle offensively because all the energy he's got to chase Daniels around, but he's done a great job so far.
There's a shot on the run that misses. Rebound collected by Melvin Council.
Yeah, challenge at the rim as Daniels was going to his left.
Jayhawks with the ball, leading 23-8. They get it inside of Bidunga. Jump hook, turns, and scores. Flory Bidunga heating up. He's now 2 for 3.
Yeah, just play right to that length. It went right at his chest with the right hand. Haven't seen that a whole lot this year.
25-8, the Jayhawks extend their run to 8-0. We're inside 8 minutes to play here in the first half. Daniels throws off to Jackson, who rises and fires from straight on, misses on the 3. Rebound Mbia for KU. Paul continues to make his presence felt. Here's Jackson with a little stop and go, but his pocket's picked en route to the rack by Jaden Jackson of Cal Baptist. Jayhawks leading 25-8. Griman dribbles it off his feet. Mbia fighting for it and then kicks it out of bounds. And we should get a timeout on the floor. Good hustle by Paul Mbia there. And he continues to earn more and more time with these contributions. Hey, let me correct the Cole Aldrich nugget. It was the next game he got the triple-double, the Dayton game, a couple of days later, still in Minneapolis. But when you think of first weekend contributions, that triple-double by Cole versus Dayton, not NDSU, certainly stands out. 25-8, Jayhawks leading by 17 right now. What was a sluggish start with a 2 for 15 shooting line out the gates feels like forever ago, because the Hawks have hit 6 of their last 7 and are 9 of 10 from the free throw line.
Well, you knew it was going to go up, and that's what it's done. So Kansas doing a good job of just sticking with it and playing their game, not trying to do anything special. Play Kansas Lottery's Rivalry Riches scratch ticket, and you could win up to $50,000 instantly. See kslottery.com for details.
What do you remember of your first NCAA tournament game?
Dayton, Ohio. I believe we played Howard. I got some mop-up time, had 5 or 7 points, had a dunk.
Wow.
So, unfortunately, we lost the next game to UTEP as the 1 seed, but followed it up with a Final Four the next year.
1993 Final Four run, yep. No doubt. It's always fun this time of year to talk to the March Madness heroes of days gone by. We had Darnell Jackson on the pregame show, a 2008 national champion. We'll probably hear from Eric Chenoweth on Sunday's broadcast. guy that's...
Are you saying I'm a March Madness hero?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think anyone would agree with you.
Hey, Final Four participant, gotta love that. And those early Roy Williams teams, you were one of the prized recruits for Coach Williams. But my point is, it's a neat time of year. We have Jayhawk camaraderie 365 days a year. But in March, when you start to see the former players showing up on the road, supporting Coach Self, you start to see guys reaching out with social media posts, cheering on the current team, former players in the NBA showing their brackets with Kansas moving on. You love to see that type of camaraderie, and it's certainly loud and proud this year as the Hawks begin their road to the Final Four here in San Diego.
Well, it's been a culture from Roy Williams to Bill Self, and when Bill got here, he said, hey, I want everybody to be able to come around, whether it was Roy, Larry, Ted, whatever, and he's been so engaging and welcoming of everyone, and it's a family. You know, I know Duke calls himself the brotherhood, but there's a brotherhood here at Kansas as well, and it's fun for different eras. You know, I didn't play with Darnell Jackson or the Twins or whatever, but everybody has that connection, that fraternity that we were all in. That's a extremely exclusive fraternity, but everyone just loves this brand.
Of course, March Madness technically starts off with the conference postseason tournaments, and last week in Kansas City you had the Morris Twins, T-Rob, Elijah, Tyshawn, Sharon, Mario Chalmers, Mario Little, all showing out to support the team. That was great to see. One other Jayhawk who's in the house tonight, Brad Witherspoon, who's now in his 4th year as the Dodge City head coach at Dodge City Community College. He's here as well.
Another guy, Tyler Self. We don't talk about him as much with the new baby in there, JJ, Joseph. So good to see Tyler and Whitney here, along with Lauren and Hayden and their 3 kids. So Bill's got all 4 of his grandchildren here in San Diego.
25-8, KU leads it. Cal Baptist will have the ball coming out of the timeout, shooting from right to left as we view the court. Hawks in a man-to-man. They've now got Mbia, Bidunga, Peterson, Council, and White as the 5 on the floor. Cal Baptist with the ball. Endong kicks out right side. Now they try to drive. It was poked loose for a second by Peterson. Jackson gets it back, fades and hits.
And it was a smart play by Jackson. He looked at the other shot clock and knew he had to get rid of it and hits the turnaround. A heady play by Jackson.
17-footer falls just in the nick of time. 25-10 KU leads. 6:55 to go here in the first half. That's just the 4th make for Cal Baptist. Here's a lob inside. Bidunga misses a dunk. Rebound at Bia. Stick back won't go. He tips it a couple of times. Cal Baptist, though, corrals it, and KU goes empty on that trip down. The dunk by Bidunga was partially altered from behind. That's why he missed it. Here's a shot on a banker that's going to go for Martell Williams, their 2nd team all-WAC conference pick. And that's back-to-back buckets for a team that previously had been 3 of 19. 25-12 KU. Peterson dribbling right side, passes off to Trey White, who's been a nice spark early. White out to Melvin Council, looking to get downhill. He's cut off and curls back. 10 to shoot. Council on a drive, a little running right-hand scoop is good. He banks it in, does Melvin, and the Jayhawks go up 15.
That's his game right there. Saw a little bit of an angle, got around his man, and on that left side going up with his right hand.
Bryson Tiller will check in at the next dead ball. Paul Mbia has been terrific in his absence. Ndong backing down on Mbia. Kicks it out now to Greiman. 5:40 to go in the half. The Jayhawk lead is 15. Dominique Daniels, little stop and go, steps through, shot off the glass, misses, tip try won't go twice, and the loose ball knocked out of bounds our direction. It'll be KU ball. Nothing doing around the bucket for these Lancers, and that Kansas defense continues to impress.
Yeah, Bryson Tiller comes in, and a great applause for Paul Mbia, who really gave some quality minutes, had the dunk, changed some shots, got on the glass. Great contribution by the freshman.
High fives all around as he goes to the end of the Kansas bench. Meanwhile, Dominique Daniels, the nation's number 5 leading scorer, 1 of 8. KU has really taken off the head of the snake here early. 25, make it now 27-12, the KU lead. Hawks with the ball, they pass ahead. Tiller muscles up a shot that misses from the right block. No chance at a rebound, and Daniels clears it for Cal Baptist.
He played into the contact, but his man just kind of walled up, and there's a dunk on the other end after the miss by Kansas.
They get it inside of Malcolm, who went right around Tiller and slammed it home. The Jayhawk lead trimmed to 13. 4:55 to go in the half, 27-14 Kansas. Peterson trying to collect the pass on a skip over the top by Council, has it knocked out of bounds off the hands of Martell Williams. It'll stay with KU.
Running sets, the little flare screen for Darren, but Jackson did not give him an inch, almost out of bounds on Kansas.
Melvin to play it in from the sideline. Hawks leading 27-14. Peterson in those white jerseys with blue numerals. Kicks back to Melvin at the top. Crosses over, now backs in, turns, shoots, misses poorly. And the rebound to Cal Baptist, that was not close. Back the other way come the Lancers. You'd really love to see Melvin get his confidence back offensively. He was 1 of 14 versus Houston. Here's a nice spin move on the block, and they score around Bidunga with the banker falling from Martell Williams. Timeout, Bill Self. Cal Baptist on a little 4-0 spurt has pulled to it within 11.
Runs are going to happen. It's all about how do you react, and Bill Self saw the momentum being shifted to Cal Baptist, so he takes the timeout to gather the guys, and they've just been getting toughness plays. The shots that they were missing are going in, and Kansas on the other end, outside of the Melvin Council layup, has struggled offensively. Had that good stretch after they're starting 2 for 15, but it's been a struggle as of late. Now 9 of 27 from the field. That's 33%. Luckily, defensively doing a great job on Cal Baptist, forcing them 28%.
Kansas, you look at some of the individuals, Greg. Peterson 2 of 9, Melvin 1 of 4, Bryson 1 of 4. Want to see some of those guys get a little bit more offensive rhythm, especially if they move on to face a great St. John's team on Sunday. Right now leading by 11, 4:24 to go in the first half on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
.24 to go here in the first half of play. 27-16 Kansas leads. The Jayhawks shooting just 33%. That won't cut it beyond this round, but the good news is their defense has been stifling, suffocating, holding Cal Baptist to just 7 of 25 shooting.
And let's mark this down. 4:24 to go. Kansas up 11. The timeout by Bill Self. A little bit of a run by Cal Baptist. How do you finish the half? Don't give them any confidence or momentum. Step on their throat right now and go into the locker room up by 15 or 20.
Coming out of the timeout, it's Council at the points. KU with its starting 5 on the floor. White, Peterson, Bidunga, and Tiller. White collects a handoff left side, passes ahead to Flory. Acrobatic up and around shot attempt is blocked, misses off the side iron. Rebound, CBU on the run. Daniels misses on a bank try. He continues to struggle. Rebound, Bryson Tiller of KU. Dominique Daniels, 1 of 9. Kansas has him right now in a blender. Peterson fades, fires, and delivers. Darren Peterson, a fading 16-footer falls. KU goes up 13.
Bill Self wants to see more of that. Get him in space, let him go one-on-one, see if they bring a double that time. Little fadeaway, much-needed bucket for Kansas.
29-16 KU. They try to enter in toward Malcolm, throws across the blocks, and a block by Tiller as he swats it away that time from Hennig, but then KU throws it away in transition.
Yeah, Bryson does a great job playing catch-up, got the block, and then just fires it out of bounds. You can't lead a guy on the run like that, and man.
He giveth and taketh away, or he giveth and throweth away.
There you go.
Turnover on Kansas. Jayhawks now with 4 of them compared to 5 on Cal Baptist. Kansas leading 29-16 with 3:16 to go. First half action. Dominique Daniels, when will he get going? He brings it across the timeline. Throws head of the circle toward Hennig. Flory Bidunga right there on the catch. KU extending pressure beyond the perimeter. Williams trying to find a lane to drive. Puts up a shot that misses everything short. Rebound Hennig, and a foul going up. I think is going to be on Bidunga.
Yeah, just kind of a wild attempt, and Flory had his back to the basket because he was playing defense, and man, unfortunate bounce there, but Cal Baptist will get a couple free throws.
Hennig to the line where he only shoots them at 59%. Their official school colors at Cal Baptist are gold and navy blue as the free throw misses from the left-handed Hennig.
It's not a very good gold. It's kind of a rusty brown gold.
You likened it in the pregame off the air to the color of your grandmother's sofa.
Yes, that's fair.
One more coming. Also misses. Rebound Melvin Council. So KU 90% from the free throw line. Cal Baptist now 25% from the free throw line.
So the turnover by Tiller didn't end up hurting you.
Peterson pulls up for a 3, missed it short, and the rebound goes out of bounds. DP motions to the bench, not to come out, but as if to say, my bad, I know I should have driven that instead of the step back 3.
And Bill gave him the downhill signal, like trying to get Jamari McDowell in the game, couldn't do it.
Peterson 3 of 11 in his first NCAA tournament game. Dominique Daniels dribbles in, throws back to Griman, jump hook, misses wildly off the glass. Rebound Bidunga, who ripped it away viciously from Hennig. Back come the Jayhawks, leading by 13. 2:20 to go in the half. Council passes to White. He dials up a 3, misses it too strong over the rim. Rebound on the deck, scooped up by Hennig of Cal Baptist. Not seen any threes out of Kansas, Greg. 0 for 5 from beyond the arc.
You know, Trey White, early shot, thought he got fouled, and I think that's why he took it, but sometimes you don't get rewarded. There's a backdoor by Daniels.
And up and under, misses. It hit the top of the backboard with all kinds of English and nearly crawled in, but he's going to get a couple of free throws. Will Daniels, who's 1 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Both Bill and I liken him to a mid-major Frank Mason. He's not making either of us look very good with the 1 of 9 shooting numbers, but just 2 games ago, Greg, he scored 41 in the WAC semis. First free throw good.
Well, you can tell he's got a aura about him. I mean, he's got the confidence and the ball handling skills to get open, but it's different when you're playing against a team like Kansas and Melvin Council. That's been all over the scouting report because it's well documented how Daniels can score the ball, and Melvin's done a nice job on him, and all 5 guys have done a good job of helping as he knocks both free throws down to give him 5 points.
Wow, they did beat Oregon State early in the year against Power 4 conference schools. They were 0-3, and certainly have learned the hard way how tough Kansas is tonight. Here's a lob and a slam. Council on the feed. Mbia rocking that rim.
A little ball screen out top. Melvin turns the corner, and Paul Mbia with his second dunk. Great first half for the freshman.
31-18 Kansas. Hawks extending pressure all the way out to the midcourt stripe. 1:24 to go in the half. KU by 13. Cal Baptist with the ball at the top with Jackson. Comes just inside the head of the circle. 18-footer misses. Rebound, Trey White plucks it off the iron. The Jayhawks are +4 on the glass today. Peterson on a blow-by, right to the rack. He takes it, and a right-hand layup is good.
The ball screen was there, but he didn't use it. It was a decoy, gets all the way to the rim on the quick hitter. This is how you finish a half.
55 seconds to go in the half. KU by 15, 33-18. Here's a step-back three that misses with a brick from Daniels. Long rebound, knocked out of bounds by Cal Baptist, they say. Thought maybe Mbia had touched it.
Now with 44 on the clock, do you try to get a quick hitter? Bill Self's motioning to Melvin to say go.
It would have to be very quick. Not a lot of urgency out of Melvin here. Bill says, come on, go. I think he waited too long. They get it ahead of Peterson, fades, fires, and he hit it. Darren Peterson on a fading 18-footer, but just a 1-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 35-18 Kansas, but they threw it away. Some pressure from McDowell and Council, and Jackson airmails the pass into the second row.
Kansas not much of a pressing team, and that was just Melvin and Jamari stepping up and making it difficult, forced them into a turnover. Now Kansas gets that 2-for-1, 23 on the game clock. There's only 20 on the shot clock, which should be
turned off. That's something that is not going to get fixed, apparently. Peterson walks it across the timeline. Should have turned off the shot clock.
Yeah.
Right now it reads 8 seconds. Peterson at the top, and a take foul by these Lancers.
Yeah, because CBU clearly had possession.
Right.
It wasn't a, so now it doesn't matter as they take their take foul.
8.8 seconds to go in the half. KU leads 35-18. The Jayhawks' lead of 17 is their biggest. Then can they get it up to 19 or 20 here before the intermission? Melvin looking, finds Trey, who promptly hands it right back. 5 seconds to go in the half. Now Peterson picks it up. DP leans in, steps back, a fading three. Got it! Darren Peterson beats the buzzer, and the Jayhawks head to halftime, now up 20.
That's the guy who's built for March. Darren Peterson, Bill Self said, yeah, get it in bounds, get it to Darren, and everyone get out of the way. He plays take him, hits the last couple buckets. I marked it down, the 4:24 mark when Kansas called a timeout. It was 27-16. Kansas goes on an 11-2 run to finish the half, and they go into the locker room up 20.
And maybe the biggest part of that 11-2 run, Darren Peterson hits 3 shots in the midst of that run. Prior to that, DP had only been 3 of 11. But his confidence, especially on the step-back 22-footer, has to be sky high as they head to the locker room.
No question. That's how you finish a half, and what a great job they did on Daniels. So need more of that in a second, but you got to love this Kansas team going in the locker room up by 20. Gear up at Rally House. Shop an outrageous selection of Jayhawk apparel, headwear, gifts, and more. KU Game Day starts at Rally House.
38-18, KU leads by 20 at the half. Stay tuned. Greg Gurley will pick a player of the first half and break down the first half box score as well. Then some highlights and more coming up on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
Attention business owners, this is Kansas Secretary of State Scott Schwab. Business information reports are now required to be filed every other year, allowing my office to modernize and reduce your filing fee. If you file business information reports in even-numbered years, visit sos.ks.gov to file your report. These reports are due April 15th. If you have any questions, please contact my office. Again, that's sos.ks.gov. And this is Secretary of State Scott Schwab, and thank you for the honor of serving as your Secretary of State.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas Lottery X Games! Kansas Lottery X Games! Win up to $300,000. Second chance cash prizes make you holler. Get ready for a cash attack! We're back! Win up to $300,000 with the X Games. See kslottery.com for details.
So, I've got a question for you. Ever stop and think about the people you trust with your life? The ones who, no matter what, would do anything for you because they know you, right? They know your story and your whole family. They've got you. Now ask yourself this. Is your doctor on that list? If not, maybe it's time for a doctor who truly knows you. LMH Health. Primary care that knows you.
20 minutes of Jayhawk basketball are in the books. Welcome to the Halftime Show on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield. The Halftime Show is brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health, the Kansas Department of Insurance, reminding you to have a game plan before you invest. Help is available at smartinvestks.gov, and by the Kansas Lottery and the Rivalry Riches Scratch Ticket. Let's play. The Halftime Show begins now.
Welcome back to the Vejas Center here in San Diego. Your Jayhawks on top of the Cal Baptist Lancers 38-18. Really an offensive struggle early, but Kansas hung its hat on defense, forcing the Lancers into 22% from the field. Kansas really did a lot to get to 40%. Ends up shooting 14 of 35, and that was making their last 4 of the half, 3 of which by Darren Peterson and the dunk by Paul Mbia. What a great half Paul Mbia had. Some really valuable minutes in the middle of that first half when we were struggling. Got the big dunk, active on defense, and a great sign for this Kansas team. We're at the top of the hour. We owe you a station break. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to Jayhawk Basketball. As we do every half, we got to pick a player of the first half. Common sense will tell you it'd be the leading scorer with 15. Darren Peterson, 6 of 14 from the field. Made that 1-3 at the buzzer at the end of the half. But I'm going to go with Trey White, a guy when we were struggling offensively, got us, just kept us out front, let us kind of hang around when shots weren't falling, got to the line 6 times, made all 6, ended up with 8 points, did a nice job on the glass with 5 rebounds. So Trey White will be your first half player of the game with a very close second. That is Darren Peterson. Your score of the half, Kansas 38, Cal Baptist 18. We'll be back on the halftime show with a recap and highlights from the first half. This is the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to San Diego, California. KU leads it at the break 38-18. They close the half on a 9-0 run over the final minute 41. Going 4 for 4 in that stretch, but it was not always so easy and effortless as it appeared to be in the final 2 minutes. The first 4 or 5 minutes were a slog to get to 2 of 15 shooting, and it took free throws to finally separate as both teams had a lid over the basket over the opening moments of this ball game. Bryson Tiller got KU's first make from the field, and so as we bring you our Bud Light first half recap, let's start with that play. Little stick back by BT to finally get the lid off and put KU up 3-0. Now they take off, fumble the ball, and KU with a steal. Council got his hands in there. Ahead to Peterson, a lob. Touch shot misses. Follow jam good. It was White on the miss, but Tiller on that flush. The thing that was so perplexing, of the 13 misses in their first 15 shot attempts, probably 10 of them were from inside the paint or even inside 5 feet, and yet there just seemed to be a lid over the bucket. But an and one by Trey White got him up 7-3, and things finally started to get some flow and rhythm after that. Here was Trey sparking Kansas early. 5-3 Kansas, 16:15 to go here in the first half. Jayhawks not getting that early separation, but here's a tip and a steal. White's got the carom to the cup. Right hand runner good, and the foul. A chance at 3 for Trey White. 7-3 Kansas at that point. He hits the free throw to make it 8-3. In fact, he hit all 6 free throws he attempted in the first half, did Trey White. And that's really where they started to get some separation from the free throw line. But once they built up a comfortable 3 or 4 possession lead, then the shots finally started to fall. There was a Elmarco Jackson 15-footer that kind of wedged between the bridge and the backboard and plopped through. And it felt like, even though that wasn't a pretty shot at all, the lid was finally removed. Soon thereafter, Flory Bidunga with the layup, and it was 17-6 Jayhawks, and KU off to the races from there. At Viejas, the rims haven't been kind early tonight. Here's a missed 3 from the right wing by Williams. Good clear out by Mbia. KU's got it up the floor. Flory, left hand layup, good. And he was pushed in the back. No foul call, but the shot finally falls for Flo. Then Darren Peterson on a tip-in would get the lid off, and eventually key a 15-point first half for DP. This one was a follow-up on his own miss. Finally got some rhythm and scoring from the field for Peterson. Jayhawks leading 19-8. Got to get there first. Peterson on a step through, misses on a bank, but tips in his own miss. He just kept soaring in and taps it home with the left hand. Peterson on the putback had the Jayhawks up 21-8. Then it was Paul Mbia coming through with some quality minutes for KU. 4 first half points, 2 rebounds in 9 minutes. He stepped up once we saw a second personal foul on Bryson Tiller, and this was one of 2 Mbia dunks. Jayhawks leading 21-8. Council fakes on a 3, passes to Mbia, turns and slams it down. Paul Mbia rocking that rim. Timeout, Cal Baptist. 23-8 Kansas at that point. Melvin Council continued to not exactly heat it up offensively, but even though he was 1 of 4, he did some other things. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a block shot as well. The one shot he did make was this running scoop shot to extend the lead to 15. 10 to shoot. Council on a drive. A little running right-hand scoop is good. He banks it in, does Melvin, and the Jayhawks go up 15. Then it was Darren Peterson starting to stretch out the range a bit. We gave you the tip in earlier, this time from the mid-range to make it 29-16 Kansas. Dominique Daniels, 1 of 9. Kansas has him right now in a blender. Peterson fades, fires, and delivers. Darren Peterson, a fading 16-footer falls. KU goes up 13. That was the first bucket the Jayhawks would make after the Bill Self timeout. It's not like Cal Baptist had huge momentum. It was only, after all, a 4-0 run. But Self not wanting to allow Cinderella to extend the clock toward midnight, he calls that timeout, and what would follow was an 11-2 closeout of the half. That was the first make on that run. Then a little bit of a swoon for a couple of minutes, and then in the final minute 41, the Jayhawks go 9-0 to truly separate and take an 11-point lead all the way out to 20. It started with an Mbia alley-oop and then a couple of Peterson highlights. Let's hear that Mbia dunk first. While they did beat Oregon State early in the year against Power 4 conference schools, they were 0-3, and certainly have learned the hard way how tough Kansas is tonight. Here's a lob and a slam. Council on the feed. Mbia rocking that rim. Second dunk for Paul Mbia, then back-to-back Darren Peterson highlights. Let's hear him in succession to give the Jayhawks a 20-point halftime edge. Not a lot of urgency out of Melvin here. Bill says, come on, go. I think he waited too long. They get it ahead of Peterson, fades, fires, and he hit it. Darren Peterson on a fading 18-footer, but just a 1-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 5 seconds to go in the half. Now Peterson picks it up. DP leans in, steps back, a fading 3. Got it! Darren Peterson beats the buzzer, and the Jayhawks head to halftime, now up 20. Jayhawks lead at 38-18 at the break. More halftime coming your way next on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
I used to believe the universe could heal anything. Tarot cards, energy, I trusted them more than medicine. Then I got lymphoma, stage 4. I was down to one last hope, the first in the world cancer clinical trial. And the science worked. I didn't need to turn to the stars. Some of the world's most incredible cancer breakthroughs are happening right here.
This is what makes us who we are. The University of Kansas Cancer Center.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Coach Self here. When I prepare for a game, I always do my homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.gov, an investor empowerment initiative through the Kansas Department of Insurance. smartinvestks.gov is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.gov.
Just like Bill Self and his coaching staff place their best players in the right positions for success, so does the Brush Group with their multifaceted marketing team of Sun Graphics, Don Levy Litho, and Brush Art Corporation. Sun Graphics is the proud printing partner of Kansas Athletics and is known for marketing support that is nothing short of exceptional. Make sure you are scoring with all your marketing efforts by contacting Sun Graphics today. Proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to San Diego. KU leads at 38-18 at the break. Greg Gurley caught up with Tony Bland, one of San Diego's own, who had the scout on Cal Baptist.
Here with Tony Bland, how about that first half? Struggled offensively, but finally got it going.
It was a lid on the basket initially for both teams. But Trey went in there, got fouled, made a couple free throws, got us going a little bit, and then DP turned into DP, so that's always good.
How about the impact of Paul and Bia?
He was huge for us. He's been playing great for the last, month or so in practice. So we knew that he would be ready, and obviously Coach has a great feel for that type of stuff. Threw him in, and he was a huge impact for us.
Up by 20. What's the message at half?
We got to come out hard. This time of the year, you can't take anything for granted, right? So you got to come out and you got to try to execute and play hard from the jump.
All right, thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Coach Bland with our Greg Gurley. The second half play-by-play comes your way next. Jayhawks leading 38-18 on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NCAA and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
(38-18) KU. The Jayhawks closing out the first half on a 9-0 run, have their biggest lead as we get set to start the second half of play. Cal Baptist will have the opening possession of the second half. Good to see the Jayhawks get some separation, get a little offensive swagger back, and then maybe best of all to see what's Bill Self been pounding the drum about all season. He wants a defensive effort that makes other teams play bad. Sounds elementary, sounds simplistic, but that's all he wants for Christmas, or in this case, for March Madness. Help us defensively, guys, gain our edge by making other teams play bad. And the numbers would tell you that Kansas was that type of team all year. 38.7% opponent field goal percentage. That's actually 5th nationally. They're 6th nationally in blocks per game, just under 6 per game. But there have been stretches, Greg, where they've not done what the Hall of Famer wanted in making other teams play bad. If you looked at the first half of this game, that would be the picture-perfect definition of that, holding Cal Baptist to 21% shooting.
And get him to play ugly, like you said, and that's what he loves. Make him uncomfortable. Don't let him get in your sets. And Melvin's done a great job on Daniels, forcing him into 1 of 10 from the field. He does have 5 points with 3 free throws, but man, what a great job by Melvin. He sacrificed his scoring, only 1 of 4 from the field, but he's doing the job right now on their quarterback.
Daniels will bring it up the floor. Council meeting him as he crosses midcourt, and the Lancers start to pass it around the perimeter. They go inside, and a left-hand jump hook is good right out the gates from Martell Williams.
Good breakdown that time. Not sure how he got so wide open. Bryson on the help. A little slow.
38-20 KU. Hawks with the ball from right to left. Trey White fakes a skip pass and now bounces in toward Bidunga. Flory going to work, spins, a jump hook, missed strong, fights for his own rebound but knocks it out of bounds. And a good shot contest that time in the interior by Hinnick.
Well, what they wanted to do there was clear out the right side, get Trey in the corner over the top to Flory. They defended it well, then Flory's forced to kind of shoot a difficult 10-foot turnaround.
If he thinks that's difficult versus Hennig, just wait till Sunday should the Hawks get there. With that front line of St. John's. 38-20, KU leads. 19-10 to play. Jackson at the top for the Lancers. Passes off on the right side. Now 5 to shoot as Williams collects out top. Williams, a jump stop. Shoots with the left hand. Misses. Tip try won't go for Hennig. Rebound, Melvin Council. He wants to push. Out to Peterson. He dials up a 3 and delivers. Darren Peterson with back-to-back 3 balls. And KU goes up 21.
That's Melvin just hunting for Darren in transition.
41-20 Kansas. Now a block from behind by Bidunga on a shot by Daniels. Rebound Kansas. Hawks want to push. Peterson calling for the ball. Takes another 3. Missed it strong. And the rebound to Cal Baptist. Daniels back the other way. Finds Williams on the secondary break. Now right side. Jackson for 3. No. Rebound Bidunga, who had inside position on the big fella Greiman. Bidunga racking up another rebound, of which he's got 5. Council to the left elbow, throws to Trey, dribbles behind his back, now curls out toward Peterson, right wing. A lob ahead to Flory, finds Bryson, hangs, misses, and a late whistle will put a foul on Cal Baptist.
A really late whistle, and Chance Moore from right in front of the Kansas bench. The outside official gets it. Bill's looking at the other 2 guys like, how did you miss that?
Yeah, all kinds of contact, but a full 2 Mississippis before the whistle was blown.
I think what happens is, you know, it's one thing to wall up, even verticality, but if you move just a little bit or move the arms down, that's a foul. And a good late call by Chance.
Free throw good for Bryson Tiller, who has 7 rebounds tonight. He's 1 of 4 from the floor, 3 total points. The big story in terms of big men in the first half was Paul Mbia's 4 points in 9 minutes and some nice defensive walling up by Paul Mbia. One more coming for Bryson, playing with red sneakers. Hits them both. And the Kansas lead extended to 23, their biggest. 17:50 to go, 43-20 Kansas. Dominique Daniels walks it up on a frustrating night for this young man that averages 23 a game. He's covered up by Council. They reverse it right side. 3-pointer launched. An air ball this time from Malcolm. Rebound Tiller, his 8th board for KU. Up the floor quickly they come. Darren Peterson lobs inside to Bidunga. Turns, shoots, misses, but he's fouled. And free throws coming for Flory Bidunga.
It's a great time to post up in transition. Flory busted it down there, got good position, and held it. Darren finds him, and Flory will go to the line for a couple.
Bidunga retucks in his Adidas white jersey. And now the 67% foul shooter will attempt the pair. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block for Bidunga. First free throw good. He rattled it in. Again, he played just 17 minutes in his lone NCAA tournament game as a freshman. He'd love to be a hero this March with a much deeper run. In those 17 minutes versus Arkansas, 4 points, 5 rebounds. So he's surpassed that already tonight. He misses the second free throw. And fighting for the rebound was Tiller and a couple of Lancers.
And look at Bill Self. He gets right out of his seat, applauds, fist pumps Bryson. And it's little things like that that are going to get Bryson back to that confidence level we need him to be at. He attacked the ball and got his team another possession. It was a jump ball, so Kansas will keep it under their own basket.
He hit the deck along with the Lancer, but the tie-up was called first. KU on the arrow will play it in, but first chance Moore wants him to wipe up the slick spot where those two players collided and hit the ground. We love Chance. We see him throughout the year as a Big 12 official, and he's a local guy from the Kansas City area. So good to see him on this assignment. 44-20. Kansas in front. Jayhawks get it into Peterson. A fade and fire from 3. Barely gets to the rim. Rebound Cal Baptist. That looks similar to the shot he hit in Lubbock at Texas Tech late. Everything but the end result. Williams backing down on Peterson, goes up with the left hand, misses. Follow jam attempt won't go for Malcolm, and Bidunga has the rebound.
And Darren's shooken up. It looks like he might have got hit
in the face.
In the face. Kansas had the ball and some numbers, but Darren over in front of the Cal Baptist bench is doubled over, holding that nose. And you know what happened was when Jackson went right into his body, Darren caught a stray shoulder, maybe elbow, and that's smart. It's got him right on the top of the nose.
We saw that happen to Trey White out in Vegas. A cut that opened up on the bridge of his nose a couple of times. Darren looks to be okay, though. He'll stay in the ball game with all eyes watching around the country, scouts watching everywhere. He gets a chance to show a little toughness. 44-20, KU leads. It's their biggest margin. 17 minutes to play here in San Diego. Winner moves on to face St. John's. Bidunga hands off to Peterson. Got away with a palm, puts up a floater. It's good. Silky smooth out of Peterson. Darren now with 20.
Yeah, he did get away with it. He kept his hand over the ball, but that was close.
Up the floor, Greiman, a running layup, good. And Coach Self won't like that as a white sea parted.
Yeah, total defensive breakdown. Both field goals for Cal Baptist have been because of that, but Kansas getting the job done offensively to continue to expand this lead.
46-22, KU in front. Council crosses over, getting downhill, a little floater on the run and delivered. Melvin Council with a right-hand banker, and the KU lead is 26. Second make of the ball game for Melvin. He's now 2 for 5. His biggest contributions have come defensively. Now reach in by Tiller, and a steal for Bryson, who got down and dirty to dive for the loose ball and came up with the carom.
He's made 2 50-50 plays where he's been the quickest to the ball.
Now a lob by Peterson is overthrown in the direction of Bidunga and turned over. How do you earn respect from the Hall of Famer? Toughness and hustle. Tiller showing both in the last 60 seconds.
Yeah, he's been great, and he's talking to Bill Self right now. Bryson was kind of doubled over like something was wrong with him, but he's going to take a seat. We got the under 16, but a good start by Kansas. Expanding that lead up 20 at half, now 26.
And this is exactly what you were hoping for tonight in a first-round game where you build a big enough lead that you're not going to be overly taxed. You can play the end of your bench some significant minutes. I think back to 2 years ago in Salt Lake City when the Jayhawks had all they wanted and more and really struggled against Samford to survive and advance without Kevin McCullough in a nail-biting game, and then just seemed like there was no wind in their sails 2 days later versus Gonzaga.
Yeah, it took a lot out of them, and Gonzaga, it was a close game in that first half, and they went on to blow us out in the second half, but you're exactly right. It's good to have one of these type of games. Now it's a ton of basketball to be played, and Daniels could get going, but gotta like where the Jayhawks are at right now, up 26. Second half action is brought to you by Meritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
That Samford game I referenced was also a 4 seed versus a 13 seed. Remember the name Achor
yep.
of Samford? He, of course, had 23 on that night. But Kansas, sans their star, Kevin McCullough, got 20 out of KJ, 19 out of Big Hunt. And that was the Nick Timberlake 19-point outburst as they moved on, but had to sweat it to do so. No nail biting tonight. All Kansas, 48-22 on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Jayhawk Nation, it's tournament time, and while the team is fighting for space on the court, you might be fighting for space at home. Tailgate gear, summer move-out season, a growing collection of Jayhawk memorabilia, whatever's taking up room, Storage Mart has storage for super fans like you. Reserve online today at storage-mart.com and get $20 off with code ROCKCHALK. That's right, $20 off storage with code ROCKCHALK at checkout. Restrictions apply. Storage Mart, proud to be the official storage provider for Kansas Athletics.
Hi, this is Coach Bill Self. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. 1 pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just 1 pill can kill.
Welcome back to San Diego. Kansas with a steal on the inbounds play, and now the Hawks have the ball. Council on a blow-by, left-hand runner missing, and the rebound cleared by Griman and the Lancers. It was a good tip by McDowell.
Yeah, it was Jamari McDowell with active hands, got the steal. Kansas unable to convert.
Now a foul on Flory Bidunga quickly on the other end. So the Jayhawks with a comfortable lead of 26, but you don't want to get too comfortable and lose the momentum and the crispness of these last 15 minutes or so. That's going to be a 3rd foul on Bidunga. So Paul Mbia, one of the first half heroes, will quickly come to the scorers table for Bidunga. But if you keep stretching this thing out, you can start to give Jaden Dawson and Cole Rosario some minutes, and eventually the rest of the bench. Free throw missing here on the first attempt from Griman, who shoots him at just 55%. Mbia returns, Bidunga takes a seat. He got his 4 points in the first half, initially coming on for Bryson Tiller's foul trouble. Now he checks in for Flory's foul jeopardy. Second free throw from Griman. This one's good. 48-23 Kansas, 15:28 to play.
Darren Peterson on the bench, still kind of adjusting his nose after being hit, so he's getting a nice little rest.
McDowell takes a handoff from Mbia. They weave around the perimeter from left to right. White tries to enter toward Mbia. Telegraph tipped and taken away. It's a steal for the Lancers. Up the floor they come. Left-hand runner good from Miles Daniels. Not Dominique Daniels, but rather Miles with the finish. 23-point KU lead. Up the floor comes Council. The free throw line, he kicks right side out of White, leans in on a 15-footer that misses, tries to follow his own miss, tips it to Paul, and he lays it up and in. 2 more for the big fella. Mbia's got 6, and the Hawks up 25.
How about the impact he's had on this game? Paul just being
now a 3 on the other end. Good for Dominique Daniels. Don't get him hot.
Such a big bucket by Paul. Daniels finally connects from beyond the arc.
Mbia, by the way, with those 6, that's a new career high. His previous career high was 4 on a couple of occasions. White from 15, bang. Trey White from straight on, it's good. And the Hawks up 24. Daniels quickly back the other way. Off to the other Daniels. He misses on a corner 3. Rebound, Paul Mbia, who ripped it away from the Lancers. Back comes Council, a transition 3. No, missed it front iron. And the rebound cleared by the Lancers and Williams. 52-28 Kansas, 13:45 to play. Cal Baptist playing with a stronger fervor of late, and now an and one coming as Martell Williams backed into Melvin Council, turned and fired through contact, and the old-fashioned three-point play on the way for the Lancers.
Yeah, Melvin definitely reached down on it. You just got to wall up and see what happens, but Williams will get the and one, so a little bit of momentum for Cal Baptist. Kansas still up by 22, but the three by Daniels, and they're just kind of getting a little rhythm offensively.
Williams hits the free throw to complete the three-point play. 21-point KU lead. The Jayhawks have led by as many as 26. 13:40 to go. Peterson back on for KU. DP's got 20 in his March Madness debut. Tiller steps into a long two, missed it short. Rebound Lancers. Dominique Daniels with the board. Daniels back the other way from left to right, picked up by Elmarco Jackson, one of KU's defensive specialists off the bench. See if he can lock him up like Melvin has. Daniels on a blow by, rejected by Mbia. Wow, what a swat. Rebound McDowell. Here comes Kansas. Jamari gets a screen. Thought about a three, but then will instead kick it out. Jayhawks leading by 21 with the ball. They try to enter to Tiller, but a reach-in foul is going to be called on Malcolm of the Lancers.
Offensively for Kansas, kind of hit the skids these last 2 or 3 minutes. Had the mid-ranger by Trey White, but other than that, some questionable shot selections. So got Darren on the floor. Baseline out of bounds. He'll be the trigger man. The most dangerous guy, though, is the guy who throws it in, so look for him to get it right back.
52-31, KU leads. He lobs into Mbia, finds Jackson at the top. Peterson covered up. They thread the needle, though. He gets pushed in the back, kicks it to McDowell. He takes a three, misses it, in and out, no good. And the rebound for Cal Baptist.
What a pass. It was like a 360 behind the back pass.
And you saw what I saw on that push, right? Here's a floater by Daniels that misses. Rebound, Elmarco Jackson. An outlet to Peterson, who doesn't have numbers, so he wisely pulls up. 12:30 to go. The KU lead is 21. Cal Baptist being held to 31 points. Peterson pulls up from 15, missed it. Rebound Tiller, right back up and in. What a strong stick back for BT, and a timeout for Cal Baptist.
How about the impact Paul Mbia and Bryson Tiller have made in this game? Weak side rebound. Bryson just active, strong with the ball, went right up with it, didn't bring it down. Forces Cal Baptist into a timeout. Kansas by 23.
12:14 to play. All Jayhawks here tonight. 54-31 Kansas.
Listen up, Jayhawk fans. Score $2 off at Wendy's Baconator on every Jayhawk game day. And let's cheer for Bacon Big Plays all season long.
For all of you listening to us on the Jayhawk Network, thank you so much. Your loyal listenership throughout the seasons means the world. We are so grateful. But in case you're tempted to tune over to TV, an attaboy to one of our dear friends, Kevin Harlan, KU School of Journalism graduate who's calling his 28th March Madness.
Legend.
28th on TV, that is. He had a few in college, including one working alongside Tom Hedrick, who famously taught the play-by-play class for years at the University of Kansas. But Kevin, truly the gold standard of sportscasting, a National Sportscaster of the Year and Hall of Famer. I asked him, how do you call 4 games in one day? Because he's been here since 10:30 this morning with the Arizona game. He said 3 words: pray to God. Yeah. He's going to get through it, though.
He's the best.
12:14 to play. KU by 23 on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
So I've got a question for you. Ever stop and think about the people you trust with your life? The ones who, no matter what, would do anything for you because they know you, right? They know your story and your whole family. They've got you. Now ask yourself this. Is your doctor on that list? If not, maybe it's time for a doctor who truly knows you. LMH Health. Primary care that knows you.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Hold on tight. It's Ford Truck Month. And you can't sit still when there's a stampede of savings headed your way. Get to your Midwest Ford dealer for the best deals of the year on a new Ford truck, including F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. The stampede of savings can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Hurry into Ford Truck Month at your Midwest Ford dealer and drive the stampede. Based on 1977 to 2025 CY total sales.
12:14 to play. Kansas leads at 54-31. Jayhawks looking to improve in first-round action to 48-5 all time. Bill Self coaching at his 27th NCAA tournament. Of course, he would have had a 28th were it not for the pandemic in 2020. But 5 of them at other schools, 22 of them at Kansas. 54-31, the Jayhawks lead it. Daniels with a basketball between the rings, throws off to Dominique Daniels in the corner. No relation, by the way. Kicks it to Miles Daniels, 17-footer, crawls all the way around the rim and falls in. He's been a nice little spark off the bench, the Chico State transfer.
It was interesting. Daniels turned down a wide open 3 to get a bucket for someone else.
Trey White holds it high above his head, now hands off to Jamari McDowell. KU's lead is 21. Hawks weaving around the perimeter. Jackson steps through, a little awkward shot on the run, misses off the window pane, and the rebound to Cal Baptist. Not a great look for Kansas that time. 54-33. Melvin Council and Flory Bidunga head to the scorer's table. Jayhawks leading. Williams backing his way in on McDowell. Jamari trying to hold his ground. They kick to Griman. He leans in, steps through, and scores. Got the ball up on that soft rim, and it bounced 3 times and fell through. They got it under 20. This is the closest they've been since before halftime. 54-35 Kansas. McDowell plays it right side to Jackson. A running, driving shot is banked home. Elmarco Jackson blew by a Lancer and lays it in.
Yeah, just like the previous possession, had a better angle, though, that time and able to get all the way to the rim.
56-35, KU leads. Miles Daniels, left side, finds Williams in the corner. Peterson guarding him in a man-to-man. 10 to shoot for the Lancers. Williams bully balling his way to the paint, and a jump hook good over DP. Back to a 19-point ball game, 56-37 Kansas.
Darren a little tentative that time because that was when he took a stray and got hit in the nose.
Jamari McDowell with the basketball on the left wing. Off to Trey White at the top. Hawks lead at 56-37. Jackson fakes on a 15-footer. Kicks to Jamari. 8 to shoot. Now Mbia backing his way down. Turns, steps through. Right-hand layup good. A coming-of-age game for Paul Mbia.
How about a confident move? Cleared the side out, got to the middle, utilized his footwork. Got all the way to the right side from the left.
58-37. Mbia with a career-high 8, doubling his previous personal best. 9:30 to go. Dominique Daniels pushes off on Jackson, steps back on a 3. He hit it. His second straight 3. There was a clear push-off. Jackson didn't flop like DeBonsa did yesterday, but he went flying backwards 10 feet. Peterson, a step back 3, launched and hit. Darren Peterson, another 3-ball, and the KU lead is 21.
How about that equalizer?
Daniels on the other side blows through 2 Jayhawks and lays it up and in. He's caught fire. He's got 13. The Kansas lead is 19, though. Peterson, can he do it again? You bet he can. Darren Peterson, a 3-point party, and Kansas up 22 as DP has now scored 29.
Wow, just get him going. What a roll he's been on. They're going to get a little nickel dimer out top by El Marco to get us to the under 12. Is this the under 12 here at the 8:42 mark? But man, what a sequence after a little momentum by Cal Baptist with the 3 by Daniels. Darren silences the crowd with his own, and then back-to-back threes. So Kansas back on top by 22.
And let's correct that. Only 26 for Peterson as the stat monitor refreshes back to 26. So Peterson with 26 points on 10 of 21 shooting. Keep in mind, he's only surpassed the 30-point mark once. TCU way back in early January. Could tonight be a night in his March Madness debut? Darren Peterson posts career numbers.
LMH Health is your partner for lifelong health. Learn more at lmh.org.
64-42 Kansas. 8:42 to play on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you. So why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Hold on tight. It's Ford Truck Month. You can't sit still when there's a stampede of savings headed your way. Get to your Midwest Ford dealer for the best deals of the year on a new Ford truck, including F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. The stampede of savings can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Hurry into Ford Truck Month at your Midwest Ford dealer and drive the stampede. Based on 1977 to 2025 CY total sales.
The Kansas Lottery asks, what would you do if you won $1 million a year for the rest of your life?
$1 million?
Every single year?
I'd build a new house with a turf lawn. I'd never have to mow again.
I want to actually travel to all those places I use as screensavers on my computer.
Instead of bringing my lunch to work, I'd bring my gourmet chef to work.
Is there a limit to how many penguins you can own?
Kansas Lottery millionaire for life. What would you do?
Hi, this is two-time All-American Wayne Simeon, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Picked up Wayne Simeon, part of 2 Final Four teams at Kansas. Jayhawks beginning their road to the Final Four here in San Diego, where they lead it 64-42. 8:42 to play. Cal Baptist's first ever March Madness appearance, and Jayhawks made it tough on them. Until this recent surge, 5 of their last 5, they were shooting in the low 20 percentile, but right now up to 33% as they've hit 5 in a row.
And it shows you how electric Daniels can be. You know, he can really change a game, but Kansas done such a nice job keeping this lead. And 8:42 to go, still plenty of time for the Lancers, but Kansas keeping the pressure on, mainly with Darren Peterson.
Dominique Daniels, 4 of 16 shooting. He's got 13 points, 10 shy of his typical average. Ryman collects in the high post. 10 to shoot for the Lancers. Now Miles inside Griman across the blocks, and a block by Flory is going to be called a goaltend. Good post-to-post passing to set up Hennig, but Flory got there as the ball was coming down.
Yeah, I think it hit the backboard first. Quick reaction, but a little bit late. So they get a bucket, now can set their defense down 20. Right back where we started the half.
64-44. KU leads with 8:12 to go. Peterson picks up his dribble on the logo at center court. Passes off to Jamari McDowell. Man-to-man defense for the Lancers, the WAC champions. Peterson throws off to Council left side. Screen comes from Flory. A lob's too tall for Flory, and it's taken away by the Lancers. Melvin put too much air on that one. Up the floor, Williams, right-hand runner, good. Martell Williams has had a nice game. He's got 13 to match Daniels for team-high honors.
Yeah, 4-point swing right there. We've seen that so many times this year where Melvin and Flory connect, but a poor pass by Melvin then leads to the bucket on the other end.
Council with 1 turnover, 4 assists, 2 of 7 shooting. Jamari has it tapped loose and out of bounds. It'll stay with KU.
Only 8 on the clock here. There will be a timeout. Bill will be able to draw something up.
It's hard to say Melvin's had an off game because his defensive contributions on Dominique Daniels for so much of this one have been tremendous. But 2 of 7 shooting, the 4 assists. It's not quite what the Big 12 newcomer of the year was doing on a regular basis throughout the season, and there's been a little bit of a late season swoon that you'd like to see get fixed if the Hawks are meant to make a deep run.
Yeah, no question. He's so important to this team, but like you did say, he's done an amazing job on Daniels, but love to see that offense get going just a little bit. And the defense has been at a minimum over the last few minutes. Kansas made their last 4 field goals, and Cal Baptist made 7 of their last 7, so it's a little brother-in-law defense right now.
64-46, KU leads, 7:24 to play on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
(64-46) Jayhawks, 7:24 to play. Comfortable lead. Nobody's sweating any bullets yet, but 7 for 7 by Cal Baptist is not the defensive closeout Bill Self was hoping for. Some of those have just been great individual efforts, but
now here with 8 on the clock, this is get it to Darren and say go like he did at the end of the half.
He collects 75 feet from the bucket, takes it down the right sideline, steps back, 2 seconds to shoot, forces up a 3, barely draws iron, and the rebound to Cal Baptist.
Bill really wanted him to turn the corner and get into the paint, but settled for a fadeaway 3.
Dominique Daniels on the other end, fades from 15, got it to go, and the foul. He's fired up. Cal Baptist has clawed to within 16. You would think, based on his reaction, it was a 2-point game. He ran to the other end of the floor, pumping his fist.
Well, Melvin just got caught, got him on the arm, and Daniels strong enough to get that in from the free throw line. So still a ton of time to be played. So going to be a 15-point game, and just got to keep the pressure on offensively if you're Kansas as he completes it.
64-49, Jayhawks lead, but at one point this was a 26-point margin, so good job by Cal Baptist, who's currently on a 7-0 run, and a team that's hit 8 of their last 8. Council off to Bidunga at the top of the circle. Peterson off a screen, collects at the top, flings left side. Tiller fakes on a 3. Now puts it on the deck, and a kicked ball by Greiman will put 20 seconds on the shot clock. 6:41 on the game clock.
Which is a break right there because Kansas had nothing going. There were 6 on the clock, and Greiman put his big old size 17s out there and reset to 20.
It's the incredible preparation Greg puts into these broadcasts, researching the opponent's shoe sizes. Tiller gets the entry pass.
That was a guess.
Tiller, a jump stop, pulls up from 4, short-armed it, and missed it off the front lip. Rebound at Cal Baptist. Dominique Daniels back the other way. Jayhawk lead is down to 15. Bill Self will take a timeout if they score here. Grime and a jump hook, missed it short, gets his own rebound as it went through Flory's hands. Tiller gets a hand in to knock it away. They'll kick it out. Dominique Daniels with 12 on the clock, backs it out to the midcourt stripe, pulls up for a deep three, buried it. And here come the Lancers. They've cut it to 12. No timeout yet from Bill. He's going to let them play through it here with 6 minutes to play. The deficit more than cut in half. Council driving on Daniels, kicks back to Peterson, who's got 26. A crossover by Peterson, steps through, little floater, good. A silencer from the assassin. Darren Peterson's got 28, and the KU lead is 14.
Just get him the ball and let him go, create space, and Darren does the rest. Much needed bucket.
66-52. CBU has hit 9 of their last 10. Elmarco nearly got a steal. Now they're trapping Williams with 8 to shoot. Throws it out to Daniels, who suddenly got 19. Another 3 launched. This one misses. Rebound Bidunga of KU.
Yeah, great rebound by Flory. High pointed the ball. Elmarco with the challenge on Daniels.
Have they weathered the storm of the run? You want some more separation to fully extinguish this Cal Baptist momentum. Now a reach-in foul by Martell Williams. You rarely see Darren upset and voicing a mean glare or stare at an official. But
well, off the ball, they're holding him just like they've been doing all year. And when he turned the corner that time, Williams really got a shot in on him. Wasn't intentional, but very physical play.
He turned and glared as if to say, come on, man. Don't let him get away with that. Peterson will play it in from right in front of us with KU leading by 14. He lobs into Bidunga, gives it right back. Little game of catch going on between Peterson and Flory, who promptly gives it back to DP. Now Council drives, shoots, misses. Rebound kept alive by Flory, rebounded by Trey White. Hawks will keep. Melvin 2 of 8. Just can't throw it in the ocean of lates.
Well, good job by Flory keeping it alive, and then Trey intelligently pulls it back out.
4:25 to play. Darren lost the ball, dribbling between his legs, but gets it back. 3 to shoot. Peterson on the run. Little teardrop floater, misses short, and the rebound to Cal Baptist. 14-point KU lead, 4:12 to play. Dominique Daniels steps through, stumbles, and a whistle and a foul. Foul on the Jayhawks will be just their 5th, so no free throws yet. Not many whistles in the second half, only 4 on Cal Baptist.
Yeah, it's been a pretty clean half. So Kansas now continues to just got to find Daniels wherever he's at, communicate all 5 guys.
Foul was on Peterson, his 2nd. Darren tucking in his jersey. They wait to allow him to do that. Now Chance Moore will hand the ball off to Miles Daniels to play it in. Gets it into Dominique Daniels, who's been red hot of late. Daniels, little floater on the run, misses, but a foul on Council and free throws coming. Melvin can't believe the call, but the 82% free throw shooter will go to the line for 2 more. And don't look now, despite starting in the deep freeze, he's going to wind up getting his game average after all.
No, you knew he was going to get it. Just how was he going to get there? And you're okay with that. You know, he's attempted 19 shots, only made 6, but got to finish this one out. More than likely, it's going to be a 12-point lead after a couple free throws by Daniels. He misses the first.
How about that? He was 1 of 10 in the first half, 5 of 9 in the second. And of those 5 makes here in the second half, 3 of them have been threes. Council comes off. Bill with some encouragement from Melvin as he runs by. He was trying to run past him, and Bill grabbed his hand and pulled him back. Second free throw good. Jayhawks lead by a baker's dozen with 4 minutes to play. Elmarco Jackson to bring it up the heart of the floor for KU. 66-53 Kansas. Darren Peterson collects on the logo at center court. DP just shy of 30 points here tonight. Peterson to Tiller left side. An entry pass toward Bidunga was tipped loose. Now a loose ball. Bidunga hits the deck and he's shaken up a bit. And now they blow play dead because Flory was injured clutching his left knee. You hope he's okay.
And Daniels was out of bounds when he grabbed the ball. That's what Kansas is so upset about.
I think Flory's going to be okay. I think he just landed hard on the knee, but this crowd that is cheering for an upset in Cinderella is loving the fact that Cal Baptist has cut a 26-point deficit in half, and though time is not their friend with only 3:34 to go, those that were sitting here neutral moments ago have climbed on the Lancers bandwagon.
Yeah, Flory goes down, and Daniels standing out of bounds, grabbed the ball, and that's what this Kansas staff is so upset about. And are they going to the monitor? I don't know if that's a reviewable play or not, because it was a live ball, then the foul on Kansas, but they are going to the monitor for something.
Flory is not being treated by Bill Cowgill. He sits on the bench with the other 5 players that are active on the floor. That means he's intending to stay in the game. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball. .334 to go in San Diego. The Jayhawks leading by 13 on the Kansas Insurance Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
I was in my living room when everything blurred. I collapsed right there on the floor. A stroke. My 3-year-old ran to get Mommy. I was rushed to the place that saved me, the University of Kansas Health System. Experts actually went up through an artery and pulled out the clot. It's the reason I'm still alive.
This is what makes us who we are. The University of Kansas Health System, a nationally recognized leader in comprehensive stroke care.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fans section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with preparation and commitment. And when it comes to investing, you need to have a game plan too. In 2024 alone, consumers lost $5.7 billion to investment scams. That's a 24% increase in losses since 2023. The Kansas Department of Insurance is here to help with our website, smartinvestks.gov. Have a game plan before you invest. Educate yourself at smartinvestks.gov.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is Paul Pierce, and you're listening to Kansas Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Paul Pierce played in 8 NCAA tournament games over 3 seasons at KU, averaging 16 points and 6 rebounds per game in those 8 trips to March Madness as a collegian. In his first game, if you want to compare him to Darren Peterson, he had 15 points versus South Carolina State. Peterson tonight with 28. We had a play under review during that timeout. What was the outcome, Greg?
It was a no call. I don't think they could go back and review it. When they explained to Bill, or they couldn't change it. They went and reviewed it, but they could not change it. And Chance Moore went over and talked to the whole coaching staff. He took a verbal beating, but the result was Daniels at the line for a 1-and-1.
And he misses the front end, and then they're going to sit it the other way over the back on CBU's Greiman.
There's your makeup call.
How about that?
But how about Daniels, though? A great free throw shooter. Now, that's 3 misses for him. And that was a front end right when they're trying to make their comeback. So a break for Kansas.
Usually front end misses later due to tired legs. He's emptied his bucket here in the second half. Barely beating a 5-second inbound call is Trey White. He got it to Elmarco Jackson just in the nick of time.
You know, St. John's is a team that likes to pressure like that, so Kansas needs to shore that up to be able to inbound the ball.
You've got 2 St. John's assistants sitting next to you, taking copious notes as they scout this one tonight. Tiller kicks out to Trey White with 3:10 to play. Kansas leading by 13. White wants a 3. Misses in and out, no good. Bidunga tried to keep it alive, but couldn't collect it. Rebound, Cal Baptist. 3 minutes to play. The KU lead is 66-53. Hawks on a scoring drought of nearly 3 minutes. Dominique Daniels gets around Jackson. Strip going up. and knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lancers.
Trey White wants Bill to review it, see if it went off his leg, but that's what we're unclear on, of whether or not that was a challenge by Kansas, and it sure looked like it went off his knee.
Tiller comes off. Your 5 on the floor: Flory, Elmarco, Melvin, Trey, and Darren. Deep 3, good, and contact, no foul call, but Dominique Daniels throws in a haymaker, and this is a 10-point ball game with 2:36 to play.
Not much Elmarco could do. That was great defense, just better offense.
66-56 Kansas. A 26-point lead is down to 10. Council looking to drive, kicks to Trey, dials up a 3, misses. Rebound Cal Baptist. And the whole arena, if they aren't Jayhawk fans, are converted Lancer fans with 2:10 to go. Daniels a blow by to the cup, misses, but he's fouled. And free throws coming for Dominique Daniels, who right now has the confidence of an NBA All-Star, even though he opened this game 1 of 10.
Well,
he's marching around, chest bumping, high-fiving.
And that's been the biggest break of all, is that Kansas did such a good job on him for about 30 minutes to amass that large lead. But right now they are chipping away and showing signs of life. And this crowd is the one thing we wanted to avoid, was everybody in this arena outside of the Kansas contingent is rooting for Cal Baptist.
Cal Baptist has shot more free throws than have the Jayhawks, as the first one's good to cut it to 9. KU, remember, they opened 9 of 10 in the first 8 or 10 minutes. They've only attempted 4 free throws since. 12 of 14 for the ball game for KU. Second free throw, also good. 8-point game, 2:06 to play. 66-58 Kansas. This lead at its biggest was 26, 48-22. What a comeback by Cal Baptist.
Yeah, this is where Darren needs to take over right here.
Jackson has it out front. Chance of defense by this crowd that has flipped in favor of the Lancers. Now Melvin out front, looks to drive, stumbles, kicks out to Trey, 6 to shoot. 1:40 to go in the game. White to Melvin, he takes a 3, misses short, rebound Lancers. 90 seconds to play, it's an 8-point ball game. Melvin 2 of 9. Williams has it out top, guarded by Peterson. Looking to drive, gets around DP, hangs and hits. Went into the chest of Bidunga, banked it home. 6-point ball game with 1:15 to go. Council across midcourt. Coach Self, who's got 3 timeouts, finally takes one here, and listen to the Vejas Arena. They started the night with about 1,000 Lancer fans. Right now they've got about 7,000 Lancer fans.
On the last possession, Trey White waved off Darren Peterson and ended up getting the ball to Melvin for a late in the clock 3. So Bill Self not liking what he's seeing offensively. You know, you get into a bit of a rut when you try to run clock when you have a lead, and then you get under 10 and the defense pressures you and you end up taking kind of a wild shot. They get a defensive rebound and get out in transition. So right now Bill wanted to calm the troops and understand that we got to get a bucket here with 1:06 to go. It's a 2-possession game, but don't need to run any clock right now. I need to get a quick hitter.
We saw North Carolina blow a 19-point lead to VCU. Kansas had a 26-point lead. And so much for getting your reserves in late and not having to sweat one out. We talked about how the Samford game 2 years ago in the 4-13 matchup was a squeaker, and they really had to bite their nails down the stretch. Who would have thought this would turn into one as well when they led by 26 at the 16-minute mark. Now the lead is down to 6. 66-60. They lob it into Bidunga. 18 seconds on the shot clock as Flory tries to hand it off to somebody. They're all covered up. Finally finds Elmarco. 10 to shoot for KU. Flory sets a screen for Jackson. He crosses over, 5 to shoot. Trey dials up a 3. No. Rebound, Cal Baptist. 45 seconds to play. Dominique Daniels down 6. Brings it down the floor. Gets to the lane. Scoop shot misses. Long rebound collected by Miles. They kick it out. Williams, head of the circle. Inside Greiman. Down to 30 seconds to play. And is it a timeout for the bench? It is.
Yeah, you force the miss. Unable to get the rebound. Cal Baptist with the timeout, 31 seconds on the clock, and here in a 6-point game.
Well, it would be unbelievable unless you realize this is March, and this kind of stuff happens all the time when the David-Goliath matchup, sometimes with a sling and a stone, see some unexpected, unpredictable type things. But a 26-point deficit to be whittled down to 6. Give all the credit in the world to the Lancers. What does it mean for Kansas, though? And if they do survive and advance, what's that message going to be after allowing the winners of the WAC to put a knot on your head down the stretch?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's, we say soul-searching, film room, whatever, and got to learn to play with the lead and keep a lead and step on the throat, and we just didn't do that tonight. Let them hang around, and the biggest thing for me right now is offensively, Kansas hasn't scored in over 5 minutes to finish the game. They've been stuck on 66 for 5 minutes and 13 seconds, and that just can't happen. Some poor shot selection. They've done a good job keeping that out of Darren's hands, but teams are going to do that because he's the best scorer we've seen.
The Jayhawks' offensive efficiency numbers have plummeted dramatically in the last 5 weeks. But even in their long stretches without making shots, Greg, they typically get to the line. They've not done that in this second half, hardly at all.
And because they've been settling for threes. You know, we're running clock and we're getting late in the clock. Trey's been unable to knock anything down here of late. Melvin, exactly the way Cal Baptist wants to defend, is like those guys beat you.
So it's a 6-point KU lead with 31 seconds to play, and the Lancers have the ball with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
And El Marco is on Daniels, and do your best not allow him to get the ball. Just face guard.
They get it into Greiman, who hands back to Dominique Daniels. He drives in, goes behind his back, fades from 15, misses wide left. Rebound Kansas, and an immediate foul by the Lancers.
And a great job on the ball by El Marco Jackson, forcing a difficult one, not allowing him any space beyond the arc. That was a mid-ranger in a possession that they needed a 3. So right now, Kansas has to inbound it. They cannot run the baseline. The next foul will put Kansas in the bonus.
Foul was on Williams, his 4th. Keep an eye on that. He's their second best player. Trey White looking to get it in, and a timeout from Bill Self.
Yeah, I was about to say Kansas with 2 timeouts remaining. Chance Moore standing right by Bill, and I'm sure what he did is said, hey, when it gets to 3 seconds, I'm going to call a timeout, and that's what he did. Now he can draw something up, and all you got to do at this point is inbound it, get it to Darren. He'll have a 1-and-1, make it a 3-possession game, and we can get out of here.
Capacity here at the Viejas Arena is 11,500. When KU was up 26 with about 16 minutes to go, what would you say, about 2,000 or so left, maybe 3,000 left? There's plenty of empties. So that left us with about 8,500 fans. And like I said, KU probably had a couple thousand of those. But whatever wasn't a Kansas or Lancer fan jumped on board with Cinderella once the comeback began. And when they cut it to 6 inside a minute to go, this felt like home court in Riverside for the team from Cal Baptist.
Yeah, and Kansas needs to now just get the ball in. Once again, cannot run the baseline. Darren Peterson's going to be in that right corner. Trey White will be your trigger man.
Have to throw it in around Greiman, who stands in at 6'11". Throws short to Jackson. Trap comes, passes out of it to Melvin. Now to Darren up the floor. Trey White will get a dunk and slam it home. There's your exclamation points. A dunk delivered by White, and KU's going to win this game. Daniels misses on a 3. Rebound Cal Baptist. Stick back misses and knocked out of bounds with 2 seconds to go. Hawks by 8. Just got to get it in at this point and move on to Sunday.
Yeah, dodge the bullet, but you attack the pressure when they were trying to foul Trey White with the dunk that will seal it.
Cal Baptist gets it into Williams. Deep three misses. That's going to do it. You can rock. Chalk it up. The Jayhawks win. It wasn't pretty down the stretch, but they hang on 68-60 and move on to the round of 32.
Survive and advance is there's not a more appropriate term to use right now. We definitely survived that one, but give Kansas a ton of credit. Playing from out front all day, and once they allowed Cal Baptist into it, you knew that was going to happen. This crowd was going to go crazy, and the Kansas